that we have to follow. So these steps, still, we're going to hide it through an acronym or in a word wherein we can follow in order for us to solve those equations which can be transformed into quadratic equation. So what is that steps that we're going to apply? So we call that as uso. So bakit nga ba uso? Yung steps natin in solving equations which are transformable to quadratic equation. So uso, it's because uh, why is it that every time may mga bagay na nauuso, the tendency is we imitate it. We want to have something like that. So, ayun yung ano na sa atin, instinct na sa atin na every time na mayroong bago, gusto natin magkaroon din tayo ng ganon. Without even realizing yung katayuan natin sa buhay. So, yung iba sa atin, pag may mga nauuso, gusto magkaroon ng ganon, papabili ka agad. So, is that thing essential? Or is that thing important? So, kung meron ka naman nagagamit pa, then why do you have to make your parents buy things like that for you? So, since lahat naman kayo nakaasa pa sa mga magulang ninyo, so kung ano yung meron kayo ngayon, so be contented about it. So, hindi natin kailangang maghanap pa ng mas mataas pa doon na every time na mas may mauusong bago, gusto natin kung ano meron tayo, papalitan na natin ng mas bago. So, nung mindset dapat natin, hindi ganun. Well, walang problema kung nakararang niya ka sa buhay, that's fine. Pero kung hindi naman, hintayin mo yung time na ikaw na mismo yung makakabili ng mga sarili mong gamit galing sa perang pinaghirapan mo. Kasi since ngayon, nakaasa ka pa lang sa mga magulang mo, so, syempre, yung finances na ginagamit nila para yun sa inyo, sa pag-aaral mo, sa mga pang bagay, or sa pang gamit na 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 pwede paggamitan as as uh, as isang pamilya, yung mga gamit sa buong pamilya. So pag ikaw nakatapos ka na ng pag-aaral, so and you are earning money, so you can buy all you want. Pwede mo nang gawin pwede mo nang bilhin kung anong gusto mong bilhin. Kung may mga mauuso, so pwede mo na siyang magawa because you are already earning. And that will happen if you will finish first your studies. Kasi kapag nakatapos ka ng pag-aaral, mas marami yung opportunity na makakaroon ka ng magandang trabaho na mataas yung sweldo. So if that is the case, kapag nangyari yon, then yung mga gusto mong bilhin, kasi sa time na yun siguro, may mga mas uso pa. Kasi nag-evolve yung mundo natin, so may mga bago na uso. In a month nga, may bagong uso na naman. So yung uso na gusto mo ngayon, sa time na yan, laos na kasi may bagong uso na. So, wait for that time to come na makatapos ka ng pag-aaral at mabili mo yung mga gusto mo sa pamamagitan ng sarili mong pagsisikap o sarili mong pera. So, yun yung steps natin na tinatawag nating uso. So, ano ba yung steps na yan? Let's start with the first one. So, you. Sabi dito, in order for you to transform equations which are not at first, we can say quadratic, but if we are going to make use of mathematical concepts, we can make it quadratic. So that's why the first thing you are going to do is use mathematical concepts or ideas to transform equations. Because most of the times, or all given equations here are equations wherein you cannot say quadratic. But with the application of step number 1, using of mathematical concepts or ideas to transform equations will help us because these equations uh, can be transformed into quadratic equation if you're just going to make use of the right mathematical concepts for it. So once you transform it into quadratic equation, S will follow. So S stands for see to it that you will transform it into quadratic equation. So yun yung goal natin. Since we are in quadratic equation, so let us make sure that once we apply mathematical concepts on those equations, we have to see to it that the equation that we form is a quadratic equation. Then last, O. O stands for oblige yourself to solve the equation using any method. So since we have already discussed 4 methods in solving quadratic equation, that's namely extracting the roots, factoring, factoring, uh, completing the square, and and using quadratic formula. So those 4 methods now, we are going to use it uh, depending on the given equation. So uh, if you can solve a given equation by using any of those methods, which you think is the easiest method that you can use, so yun yung gagamitin mo. So you have to oblige yourself to solve the equation using any methods. In that way, you are now going to come up with the solutions to a given quadratic equation. So again, in order for us to solve equations transformable to quadratic equation, all we have to do is to apply the steps we call uso.